The rain cascaded down in relentless sheets, tapping on the supermarket's roof like 1,000 skeletal fingers. The usually bustling parking lot stood empty, drowned in shadows, with only the street lamps to ward off the encroaching darkness. The sign outside proudly declared, "Open 24 hours!" But the desolation within painted a different picture. Inside, the supermarket seemed to breathe with an eerie life of its own. The hum of refrigerators formed an unsettling symphony, echoing through the deserted aisles. The flickering lights cast long, distorted shadows that danced on the shelves, creating an illusion of movement in the stillness of the night. James, a weary clerk with sunken eyes, moved mechanically through the aisles, restocking shelves that hardly needed replenishing. The unnatural quiet made every footstep echo like a distant drumbeat, amplifying the sense of unease that clung to the air. As James approached the frozen food section, he caught a glimpse of a figure at the end of an aisle. A silhouette obscured by the dim light, moving furtively between the shelves. His heart quickened, and a shiver ran down his spine. "Who's there?" he called out, the words hanging in the air like a phantom's whisper. No response. The rain intensified outside, the wind howling in symphony with the hum of the freezers. James cautiously approached the mysterious figure, his senses heightened. The aisles seemed to stretch endlessly, the oppressive darkness closing in with each step. As he rounded the corner, the figure came into view. A man, hunched over, with a tattered coat dripping rain onto the floor. His face was obscured by the shadows, but James could sense an unsettling presence. "Can I help you?" James asked, the unease in his voice betraying his fear. The man slowly turned, revealing hollow eyes that seemed to absorb the feeble light around them. In a raspy whisper, he muttered, "You shouldn't have come here." Before James could react, the man vanished into thin air, leaving behind only the haunting echo of his words. The supermarket seemed to recoil in silence, as if holding its breath, waiting for the next chilling revelation. Trembling, James stumbled backward, his mind struggling to comprehend the surreal encounter. The rain outside pounded against the windows, a relentless drumbeat that matched the rhythm of his racing heart. The hum of the refrigerators grew louder, drowning out all other sounds. Suddenly, the lights flickered and dimmed, plunging the supermarket into darkness. Panic set in as James fumbled for his phone, the only source of light in the void that surrounded him. As his trembling fingers illuminated the space, he saw the aisles had transformed. No longer stocked with groceries, they now held spectral images of people frozen in time, shoppers, children, and the elderly, their faces etched with terror. Each aisle revealed a different scene, a macabre tapestry of the supermarket's twisted history. In that moment of horror, James realized the truth. The supermarket was a vessel, a repository of memories, and he had unwittingly stumbled upon its haunted past. The rain outside continued to pour, washing away the sins concealed within the supermarket's walls. As the lights flickered back to life, James found himself alone, the aisles now bereft of their spectral inhabitants. He stumbled towards the exit, the weight of the twisted revelation settling on his shoulders. The rain, though relentless, seemed almost cleansing as he stepped out into the night. The rain outside showed no signs of relenting as James stood in the empty parking lot, his breath visible in the cold night air. He cast a final glance back at the supermarket, its facade now appearing deceptively ordinary in the harsh glow of the streetlights. Days turned into weeks, and the memory of that fateful night gnawed at James' sanity. The hum of the refrigerators and the flickering lights haunted his dreams, weaving a tapestry of spectral figures and whispered warnings. He couldn't shake the feeling that the supermarket's secrets clung to him, refusing to release their hold. Driven by an inexplicable compulsion, James found himself returning to the supermarket at the stroke of midnight. The rain, though less intense, painted the scene with a melancholic sheen. As he stepped through the automatic doors, a cold gust of wind greeted him, carrying with it an unsettling familiarity. The supermarket, devoid of customers in the waking world, now pulsated with a spectral energy. The aisles, once filled with the frozen images of the past, seemed to beckon him forward. James hesitated, but an unseen force propelled him deeper into the heart of the store. The flickering lights resumed their dance, casting distorted shadows on the shelves. The hum of the refrigerators intensified, creating an otherworldly symphony that resonated through the empty space. James felt a presence, an unseen gaze that bore into his very soul. As he reached the frozen food section, the air grew thick with anticipation. The figure, draped in a tattered coat, materialized before him once more. The hollow eyes boring to James, and a voice, like a whisper from the depths of the abyss, echoed through the aisles. "You've returned." Fear gripped James, but curiosity held him in place. The figure spoke of forgotten sins and the price of revelation. The supermarket, a vessel for lost souls and untold stories, demanded a sacrifice. A choice lay before James, to carry the burden of its secrets, or to become one with the spectral tapestry. In that moment of decision, the supermarket's walls seemed to close in. The rain outside intensified, matching the tumult within James' mind. He felt the weight of the past pressing down on him, an unrelenting force that threatened to consume him whole. As the seconds stretched into an eternity, James made his choice. The supermarket's flickering lights reached a blinding crescendo, and the hum of the refrigerators became a symphony of voices from beyond. James vanished into the spectral embrace, his fate sealed within the haunted aisles. And so, the midnight melancholy supermarket persisted in its timeless existence, a portal to the unknown, waiting for the next wanderer to step into its embrace and become a part of its eternal mystery.